Thanks and welcome to the 6:15 with me, Kejang Henry at MBA. Let's begin with our top stories. Two members of the Ambazonian Defense Forces arrested and indicted by United States authorities. They are accused of violent attacks in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. And the Fundi High Court has ordered the United States Embassy in Cameroon to pay damages to Julius Banker, former employee whose arbitrary dismissal was ruled unlawful. And Elections Cameroon and key electoral stakeholders have met for the 8th National Consultation Forum to seek collective solutions to ensure a peaceful, transparent, and conflict-free presidential polls on October 12, 2025. Top stories. You're welcome to join me. Check us on our respective platforms on Canal International. I will begin from the overseas, where the United States authorities have arrested and indicted two members of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, a separatist armed group accused of fueling violent attacks in Cameroon's northwest and southwest regions. The arrest, made with the support of the Salai law firm, has actually marked another step in international efforts to dismantle the group's overseas operation. Gladys Ambodibang with the development.
The two Cameroonian nationals living in the United States, Benedict Kwa and Pascal Wongibe, have been arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, on charges related to terrorism and violent separatist activity in Cameroon. The men are alleged to be members of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, ADF, the armed wing of the separatist movement in the Anglophone regions. Their arrest follows a long-running investigation supported by the Salai law firm based in the United States, which has been tracking the group's international activities.
These individuals were responsible for the deaths of thousands of innocent Cameroonians and hundreds of our soldiers. Their arrests, in addition to the 30 other arrests which my law firm has assisted to obtain, shows that there is a strong judicial collaboration between the United States and Cameroon.
Barrister Salai added that the next phase of their efforts will target the digital infrastructure of the ADF, which he says is being used to spread propaganda, coordinate attacks, and recruit fighters.
Their accounts, stop their fundraisers. We would continue to file complaints and work with the attorneys at Facebook or Meta Inc. and at Google or Alphabet Inc. to block their channels of propaganda.
The arrest of Kwa and Wongibe brings the number of key separatist figures apprehended in the United States to 3, following the earlier arrest of Ayabacho Lucas, a top figure linked to the separatist movement.
Thanks very much, Ambo Gladys Diban. And in a groundbreaking verdict, the Fundi High Court in Yaoundé has ordered the United States Embassy in Cameroon to pay damages to Julius Banker, a former employee with the United States Embassy, who was arbitrarily dismissed. And the court has ruled that unlawful. The verdict has set, of course, another historic precedent in Cameroon's labor law. We have the details with Beatrice Ngamo from Yaoundé.
The Fundi High Court in Yaoundé has ruled against the United States Embassy in Cameroon, ordering it to pay reparations to former employee Julius Mbanka, who was arbitrarily dismissed from his position after nearly a decade of service. Delivering judgment on September 8, 2025, Judge Achille Owonja found the dismissal unlawful, making this the first case in Cameroon's history where an individual successfully challenged a diplomatic mission. The ruling was hailed as a landmark in the country's labor jurisprudence. Banca's legal team, led by attorney James F. Epo, described the decision as a milestone in holding foreign missions accountable for their actions. He stressed that the case underscored the state's duty to protect Cameroonian workers from exploitation and ensure compliance with national labor laws. The case dragged on for 7 years, during which Banca endured significant hardship. Once on the brink of despair, he said the ruling vindicates his resilience and now positions him as a strong advocate for labor and human rights. Speculations during the trial had suggested political interference from the Ministry of Justice, but court sources dismissed the claims as unfounded. The proceedings, which also involved the Ministries of External Relations and Labor, were conducted under strict confidentiality. The Banca versus U.S. Embassy decision now stands as a precedent that diplomatic missions operating in Cameroon are not above the law when it comes to labor rights.
And with schools reopening as well as major elections looming, gendarmerie units in Yaoundé are actually stepping up patrols to deter disturbances, reassure citizens, and to guarantee a smooth, secured atmosphere during these events. Details once more with Beatrice Ngamo.
In a bid to heighten security in the capital city Yaoundé, central region of Cameroon, during this back-to-school period, extended to cover upcoming elections also, the National Gendarmerie has come out with well-planned patrol schedule, which they presented the administrative authorities of the region, the governor, and the SDO Mfunje.
The plan of the patrol in the town and the surrounding of the town, so that he can see and appreciate what we are doing and what we are supposed to do.
Saluted as very important, especially for the safety of children beginning a new school year, needs to put them on the right track.
For quite some time now, there has been a lot of traffic jam, pickpocketing, and what have you. And schools have started. So the operation aims at reducing some of these things, especially consumption of drugs in the school milieu. So if those people who are bringing drugs cannot bring the drugs again into town, our schools will be safe.
The patrol will also help in containing criminals and their dangerous activities, be it in the town or peripheries.
Most of the people who attack or do criminal activities in Yaoundé run back to the periphery and think that they have a hideout there. So this plan of action is going to follow them right to their hideouts. So they will not have any hideout center region.
The National Gendarmerie says this is just the beginning.
More than that, we are going to project those patrols even after those national events.
The Gendarmerie patrol aimed at deterring disturbances, ensuring safety and reassuring citizens as these major events unfold in more serene manner.
And in Douala's Mabanda neighborhood, stagnant water and clogged drains have turned into breeding grounds for infections and sleepless nights, leaving residents struggling to cope as the rainy season is actually worsening. Details with Gladys Abodiba.
Across roads and around homes in Mambanda, in the Douala 4 subdivision, dirty stagnant water are giving off a foul stench and serving as perfect breeding ground for mosquitoes, triggering an alarming rise in malaria cases and other waterborne diseases. Residents speak of sleepless nights, itchy skin, and chronic pain caused by long hours of exposure to contaminated water.
When you enter this water, every time you cannot go out without entering water. Now when you enter water, your leg is chopped off because of water and you come and have pain.
This stagnant water breeds a lot of mosquitoes, causing malaria and stomach problems. It's painful living with this kind of water. We also suffer from skin diseases. It itches and it hurts when you spend the whole day walking in it. At night, it's hard to sleep. Some people connect their septic tanks directly to the gutters. When it rains, they open them and excrement flows into the same water we have to walk through. As a result, our legs itch afterwards.
In some homes, especially during heavy downpours, water floods entire compounds, sometimes entering living rooms. This family has been stepping on old car wheel trim rings for 5 years just to access their house without stepping directly into the dirty water. With limited access to healthcare or proper drainage, residents have developed their own remedies to fight infections.
We usually boil water, add salt and lemon, and let the children soak their feet in it to prevent infections and itching.
Sometimes you use red oil on your leg to prevent the water from infecting your leg and having some kind of foot infections.
The inhabitants of Mambanda say an effective drainage system can end the daily suffering.
Thanks very much, Ambo Gladys. And elections, Cameroon and its key stakeholders have met for the 8th National Consultation Forum to seek collective solutions to ensure peaceful, transparent and conflict-free presidential polls come October 12, 2025. Hyacinth Chair sat through that forum and now fighting.
1 month to the much-awaited October 12 date for the presidential election. Mobilization is heightening as campaign date is fast approaching. Important to highlight certain measures that will render the process peaceful and credible. It is the content of this 8th National Consultation Forum between Elections Cameroon and the different stakeholders.
Our idea is to come out with resolutions that are going to have firm grounds for the acceptation of the good conduct. This is to entail that all the actors present, administration, political parties, the justice, will agree on common items for the management of the elections of 2025. Our idea is to come back and have a solid framework that's going to encourage peace, citizenship and development of our country.
Present in the exchange platform are political leaders, civil society actors, traditional rulers, religious authorities, representatives of different social groups, diplomats, among others. The stakes are quite huge.
We're 1 month to elections, and we still see on the media spaces, we still see on new forms of media spaces such as social media, divisive rhetoric, hate speech, misinformation, but also ethnic slurs that turn to divide more people. We hope that at the end of the day we will have transparent and credible elections, not just by word, but by actions that are taken on the ground by different stakeholders within the process.
But the exercise, some actors hold that may not yield the expected fruit, especially with the timing.
It's a window dressing, but the actor that I am should be there, because they say in politics, never abandon your chair, be there, even if it's to tell Cameroonians this. We all know that the northwest and southwest regions are under a lockdown again. I hope organizers, ELECAM, will tell us how we are going to mitigate that for elections to effectively hold in these two regions.
I want to remark that it is coming a little late because we exactly a month to the elections. When you do the consultations today, when are you going to do the examining what has been brought out today, and then when do you get back to the people? So we just keep our fingers crossed, and we look forward to positive strides towards peaceful, credible, acceptable elections in Cameroon.
This consultation is in line with Section 11, Sub 2 of the Electoral Code.
And still in politics, PCRN's flag bearer Kabir Libi has dismissed claims that President Paul Biya can only be defeated through opposition coalition instead of urging candidates above 70 to spearhead any unity efforts for younger contenders. Hyacinth Chair met with Kabir Libi. His report.
After a pre-campaign tour in some parts of the country, Kabir Libi, candidates for the October 12 presidential election, says the population needs change at the helm of the state more than ever before.
Ce que moi je ramène du terrain, c'est que le peuple a soif de changement.
Talking to the men and women of the media this Wednesday, September 10 in Yaoundé, the PCRN flag bearer insists that the calls for a coalition of the opposition is important, but the actions of the political leaders are conflicting. Though ready to join forces, he underlines that it is not the only way to beat the incumbent president.
Si nous, de l'opposition, voulons véritablement mutualiser, il faut que les actes suivent les paroles. L'union faisant la force. Se mettant ensemble, nous augmentons évidemment et automatiquement nos chances de victoire. Mais il faut arrêter de diffuser l'idée que sans coalition, le pouvoir sortant ne peut pas être battu. Non. Donc, moi j'appelle solennellement déjà les trois septuagénaires que sont Maître Akeremouna, le ministre Bello Bouba et le ministre Issa Chiroma à coaliser. Mais une fois qu'ils l'auront fait, l'exemple sera venu des aînés et nous les cadets, on avisera.
The result on the D-Day will depend on the determination of all Cameroonians, especially the electorates.
Le changement est entre les mains de chaque électeur.
Cabral Bill calls on aspirants disqualified by ELECAM and the Constitutional Council to rise and join the retained candidates to seek for the desired change.
Thanks very much, Hyacinth Chair. The National Disarmament and Demobilization Reintegration Committee has revealed that more than 3,500 ex-separatist fighters are currently in the DDR Center in the southwest and northwest region, of course, evaluating 7 years of the activities. The National Coordinator, Fayengo Francis, says over 700 of those former combatants have actually been transformed. Hyacinth Chair once more.
Created on November 30th, 2018, through a presidential decree, the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee was entrusted the mission to welcome, care for and disarm individuals who haven't laid down their arms and desire to return to civilian life. 7 years down the lane, Fayengo Francis says much has been done, with 3,586 ex-associates currently in the 3 camps of Bamenda, Boya and Mora.
First of all, we started in 2018 with, as you heard, with 5 ex-combatants. We have close to 5,000 to 4,000 in our centers today, after having reintegrated about 700 last December, and after having sent those who came from the neighboring countries. So as concrete proof to show that we exist, we have the ex-fighters. Secondly, we have the multi-purpose modern centers in which these ex-fighters live, where they don't only sleep, we train them, we educate them. Those who have a trade, we improve it. Those who don't have, we give them a trade so that they should come out and be normal Cameroonians. Every ex-fighter that left the center, they are self-sufficient.
The drive, however, is hampered by standing challenges that warrant collective efforts.
But we want them to take ownership. And the big challenge in taking ownership is that everybody, all of you, all of us, everybody has to put his word so that the process should be understood, so that everybody should profit from this.
Presenting the result on September 10 in Yaoundé, it was also an occasion to hand more technical materials to the heads of the disarmament centers to continue empowering the ex-fighters in agriculture, animal husbandry, sewing, hairdressing and other domains.
Another report there by Hyacinth Chair draws the curtain for this edition of the 6:15 with me, Kejan Henry Athimbe. Thanking you for being there with us. Nipijo is just right around for the debrief, the actuality. Goodbye.